Hi. Um, Today I would like to introduce to you some of the coloring book I have done. Um, as you know, I love to draw with fountain pen, and just want to show you the kind of fountain pen I use. This is one of the type I use. It's what we call a desk pen, and the nib is it's about EF, which is very fine. So normally I draw on a small little A5 size paper and it's really so fine that you can blow it up bigger just to see the detail of it, right? So this is really a very good tool to use for drawings, and I just love to draw with black and white. So through the years I've drawn quite a fair bit of them, and eventually I've published three coloring books. um, this is this is the very first one I've done. When I did it in Penang. I was traveling with the whole family. So the sketches are mostly on the spot. So as you can see, you know, if you're drawing from the spot, is the pen line, the weight, and all that. It's a bit more fuzzy and a bit more quick because within like 15 minutes or some even within, one of the fun thing I love to do was to do a quick sketch within 5 minutes. So the pens get to be very fast and a bit more rough, but you still can make out the image. So finally, eventually, I thought, it's good to put it into a coloring book so that people can look through and then color it. So these are just some of the works. Yep. The second one I published was Tiong Bahru. This one I spent some time. So this is slightly different in the sense that I take it more like a project to understand the place before I um, do the sketches. The first one in Penang is yeah, I read about it before I travel there, but it's just within like 10 days, 2 weeks, I finish all my sketches on the spot. So it's kind of quick and first very impactful kind of impression. Whereas Tiong Bahru is slightly different. I was looking at how do I use the pen to record what I think Tiong Bahru is, to find the meaning of the place, to find a form of collective memory of the place, right? So that project is slightly different. So for that project, I have to hang around Tiong Bahru for almost 3 months, documenting it, reading it, talking to people, talking to writers, talking to people who live there, and also attending some of their functions before I can understand the place. So by understanding the place, then I could develop places that is meaningful, that could touch the heart of the people who have lived there, who have found certain memory lanes in the place, or some people could have stayed there for like 20 over years, and then they migrated, and then they came back, and they want to have a piece of this memory. So I do find some of these people who came back, and during one of my exhibition they bought the drawings, right? So they want a piece of memory, not so much in a photographic form because it doesn't look the same anymore even now. So at that point of time I recorded was maybe 6 years ago. So that recording and now would be different again as time plays, as time change, places change, people change, and people get older. Shops get closed down, and then new tenant take over. Maybe from a grocery shop, it becomes a barber shop, things like that. So it's a very fluid kind of thing. So that record was for that particular time. So slightly different. So and each of these images that I drawn would have certain will bring back certain memories, certain story for the people. And the last one is a bit more interesting is that well, I get to draw with my son. This one is about Little India. So I drew with my son, and he spent about 4 months with me. Started to learn how to draw, and eventually, by the end of the fourth month, he's able to draw something that I'm quite happy. He's quite happy. Yeah. So I put some of those work inside here. Like this piece is one of his work, right? So yeah, everybody I think could draw if you put in your time and effort. That's about it, you know. So drawing is a method. It's a bit of perseverance, patience, and you could draw that. Yeah. So these three coloring book, they are all listed in lulu.com, lulu.com. You can purchase it from there, right? Or if you want to, I think to take a look at this point of time, you can also visit. I think our libraries. I'm not sure they are still open. If they are open, you can Google my name and you probably can find it there, right? Um, so yeah, so fountain pen is such a minimal tool that you need. Just one fountain pen, you could do hell lot of sketches, a lot of sketches just with a fountain pen and a piece of paper. You know, just a just a normal piece of paper. You know, you can buy some of this art paper, or you can also buy some sketchbook, and you can start drawing. After you draw them, you still can color them like this. You know, this I drew it already, and then I print it out from the printer. Then I color it. At the same times, I also sell them as postcards, and people can color it and then post it to their friends, right? So this, well, maybe we can look at some of these images. This is one in the Indian temple, a very famous temple along Serangoon Road, Little India. What struck me was the way that uh, they prostrate on the floor, praying to their God to show how sincere they are. Their whole body is down, and with their two hands they are uplifted. So, yeah, people still walk around. They won't get angry if you look at them, because it's between them and the God. So there are lots of people expressing their sincerity to their gods the way they want to, right? Of course, if you enter a Hindu temple, in this case, you can't wear your shoe in. So, well, it keeps the place a bit more clean, yeah. And you could wash your feet before you get in. So the other one I was very impressed is the saris of the um, ladies, you know, the flora, the prints, and the intricacy of the sari. This is also an image I saw in the temple. So I sort of zoom in on her to draw out all the intricacy of the her clothes, right? Yeah, and there's a lot of busy places, the street, and the famous Komala, as you can see here, it's vegetarian restaurant, which is very famous. At the same time, the street scene, even back in 6 7 years ago, there are still people collecting paper, recycling them, and these are all corrugated cardboard, and they will collect from all the shops and probably makes I don't know, $10 or more for that kind of load. Um, yeah, this is a typical scene on the street. As you can see, every piece of wall is all full of um, advertisement, logos, name, titles. You know, so the eyes gets very busy, and everybody is trying to get your attention to buy something or do something, or maybe groom yourself. You know, um, so um, these are some of the street during one of the dark cloud days, you know, in Little India. Yeah, so these are some of the works I have printed into postcard and books. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. This is a very familiar scene. The the Roti Prata man, who wear a dark glass, you know, black, almost black, and doing his cooking and frying and the prata, you know. So pretty interesting document. So if you like my book, you can go to lulu.com to get it, and you can order online and they can mail it to you. right? You probably get in 2 to 3 weeks time. So that's good because I allow them to sell my books, so I do not need to get into the nitty-gritty of selling books, instead of doing my work, which is drawing and sometimes writing. So um, yeah, I enjoy that very much. So maybe one day I'll share with you some of my techniques in drawing. So look out for it. Bye.